You've probably been told your whole life that you just need to stay motivated, that if you want to succeed, you've got to light that fire inside you. But here's the hard truth. Motivation is unreliable. What if the real secret was building systems that work even when you don't feel like showing up? For a moment, you feel unstoppable. You're ready to change everything about your life. You set big goals. You make promises to yourself, and maybe, for a few days, you follow through. Because here's the thing most people don't realize. Motivation is a feeling. Books, videos, and coaches often preach motivation because it sells. It makes you feel empowered in the moment, and that quick emotional high convinces you that change is happening. You need a machine that keeps moving, even in the dark. It takes decision-making out of the moment and puts it into the structure. That means you don't have to think every day about whether or not you should do something. You just follow the process. Suddenly, that motivation is going hand with it. Your consistency. Motivation is emotional, it fluctuates, and emotions, by nature, are unstable. So, instead of saying, I want to be motivated to write, you shift to, I am a writer. Then you build a system around that identity. But a system like having a set workout schedule, a meal prep routine, and accountability with a coach or friend, that's what gets you results. You wake up and go to the gym not because you're inspired, but because that's just what you do now. That's why the most successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on systems that make action automatic. It happens in the quiet, boring, repetitive actions that you do every single day. When you rely on systems, your identity is built on what you do, and action always beats emotion. There will be days you feel exhausted, days you feel discouraged, days when nothing seems to be going right. Motivation can't carry you through those days. It wasn't built for that. The things you do when nobody's watching, when you don't feel like it, when the last thing you want to do is take another step but you do it anyway, because your system tells you to, it becomes a system. And over time, your identity becomes rooted in action, not in emotion. Your workout plan, abandoned, your diet, broken, your business idea, forgotten. Systems are a structure, and in the long run, structure always wins. It's inconsistent. It comes and goes like the weather. If you've built a routine that supports your goals, you don't need to feel amazing every day. You just need to follow the system. You just need to show up. And if your success depends on motivation, you're already setting yourself up to fail. A strict schedule, a disciplined process. That's what separates professionals from amateurs. What if the key to achieving your goals wasn't motivation at all? Motivation sounds good, it feels good. It's the boost you get after watching an inspiring video or hearing a powerful speech. But then something happens, you get tired, you get distracted, you lose momentum. The problem isn't you, it's the system, or rather, the lack of one. We've been conditioned to believe in motivation because it's marketed as a shortcut. But here's the truth. Real change doesn't happen in moments of excitement. Motivation is a spark. Systems are the engine. You don't need more sparks. A system is a repeatable process. It's a set of actions and habits designed to move you forward consistently. Let's break this down with an example. If your goal is to get fit, motivation will get you to the gym once or twice. Systems remove the emotion from the equation. They reduce friction. They make action part of your identity. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, points out that the key to lasting change is identity. You become what you repeatedly do. You write every morning at the same time. You set a small daily word count goal. You remove distractions. You track your progress. When you rely on motivation, your identity is built on how you feel. Let's be honest, life gets hard. Systems, however, are resilient. Think of Olympic athletes. They don't train based on how they feel. They train based on a system. The truth is, most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they rely on motivation. They haven't taken the time to build a system that carries them when motivation fades. So how do you build systems that work? Break it down into the smallest repeatable actions you can take, then attach those actions to triggers in your environment or your schedule. First, start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life in a day. Pick one area you want to improve. If you want to eat healthier, prep your meals every Sunday afternoon. If you want to exercise, pick 3 days a week and lock those times into your calendar. It runs out, it gets weaker over time. If you want to read more, set a rule to read 1 page before bed every night. Don't leave your progress up to chance or emotion. Set up your life so that success becomes the default path. Then track it. Measure your consistency, not your results, your actions. Because when you stick to the system, results will follow. One leads to delay, the other leads to progress. But over time, those repeated actions become part of who you are. You stop thinking about whether or not you should act. You just do it. Find a friend or coach who knows your system and checks in with you. You become the kind of person who acts because it's part of your identity. Because that's what you do. Keep your phone out of the bedroom if you want to sleep better. You don't study because you feel inspired. You study because that's what students do. You don't build your business because you had a good day. You build it because that's your system. Remove junk food from the house if you want to eat clean. Build a system that works when you don't, because they didn't build the systems that carry them when life gets hard. Set out your gym clothes the night before if you want to exercise in the morning. It's harder to quit when someone else is watching. Add accountability. But consistency beats perfection every time. As long as you're showing up, you're winning. And finally, review and adjust. No system is perfect at the start. A common myth is that success comes from willpower, but willpower is just another form of motivation. It just asks you to show up. One more rep, one more email, one more chapter. That's how goals are achieved, through steady, unexciting, disciplined action. Instead of relying on willpower, design your environment for success. Make the right choice, the easy choice. Your environment should support your system, not because emotion is bad, but because it's unpredictable. We live in a world that glorifies feelings, but when it comes to discipline, emotion is the enemy. Your system doesn't care how you feel. Motivation tells you to wait until you're ready. Systems tell you to go, no matter what. At first, systems might feel unnatural. You might resist the structure. That's the goal, to become the kind of person who doesn't rely on how they feel to take action. You don't run because you're motivated. You run because you're a runner. If motivation worked, everyone would be successful. But the world is filled with people who were once inspired and never followed through. It's time to stop chasing temporary feelings. Start building permanent habits. Replace motivation with a system. Replace inspiration with action. Replace short-term highs with long-term consistency. Motivation is a lie. Systems are the truth. If you want real change, don't wait to feel ready. And then follow it day after day, step after step, until you wake up one day and realize you've become everything you once dreamed of. Not because you were motivated, because you were disciplined, because you had a system, and because you kept showing up.